Hey guys, what's up? DJ Kevin over here from DJ Kevin TV1. Another video for you guys. Now today we're going to talk about two-way or three-way systems. What to look for, what's your application, and why to have a three-way system box better than two-way system box. Now we all know that DJs always use two-way systems. Well, for the most part it's two-way. With a speaker box, you have a woofer and you have a tweeter. That is called a two-way system. A three-way system is with a woofer, the main driver, 15, 12, 10, whatever. And then you have a little driver that is for the mid-range. And then you have another driver on top, which is the horn, which is the high frequency. Now, what to look forward to into a two-way and three-way system? A two-way system will only focus on the full spectrum of sound. What I mean about that is that you have the woofer doing the bass and the mid, and then you got a tweeter doing the high frequency. That's for majority of the speakers out there in the market today. A three-way system has three components in there. You have the woofer, the bass speaker doing the bass, and then you have a little speaker doing the mid, and then the top for the high frequency. Now what to look forward to in your application. Most DJs always use a two-way cabinet with a subwoofer, an 18, 15, or sometimes a 12. It depends on your application and what are you using it for. If you're going to do a two-way system with a horn and a woofer, the main cabinet, and then you're running a subwoofer, I advise to use an 18-inch sub, a 12-inch mid woofer, and then your high frequency. Why? Here's the thing. With an 18-inch woofer, 18-inch woofers will only produce from 35 hertz and below. Alright? 35 hertz and below. That's for an 18-inch woofer. A 12-inch woofer can sometimes go around like 40, 30 at the most. And then your high frequency driver will go above that. Now to work that system, you gotta have a crossover. Now with a crossover, you have to divide the frequency that sounds nicest. If you're running a passive system, alright, this is for the passive people here. You have two amplifiers, one for the mid and high and one for the bass. Alright, so you have to run two amplifiers. And for that, for a passive system, you have to use a electronic crossover, or as the industry like to call it, an active crossover. So you go from your mixer to the crossover, one to the input of the mid and high, and then another output to the low frequency. And then they'll have an output that goes to mid and high for one amplifier, and to the bass to another amplifier. Simple, right? Now, what happens if you have a cabinet that is three-way? Well, you could just use one amplifier for both for the three-way speaker cabinet. Why? Because they have a crossover inside that cabinet that divides the frequencies. We have one side of the crossover that does just the bass. Now throw it to the 15-inch or 12-inch woofer. And then they have another part into the crossover that does just the mid. And then now go to the mid woofer or tweeter. Sometimes it could be a tweeter, but it's mostly a woofer. And then they have another part of the crossover that does the high frequency, and now go to your horn. With traditional two-way systems, you have one crossover that splits just two ways of frequencies. You have the woofer that does the mid and the mid and low, and then you have another part of the crossover that does the high frequency. Which one do you prefer? Put your comment section below and tell me which one would you prefer. For me, I would prefer a three-way speaker cabinet, but I did just build a three-way cabinet as well. I'll show you guys that in another video. But I prefer a 3-way 15-inch cabinet. But for most people, they like to have a subwoofer that does just a low frequency, and then a mid woofer on your main cabinet will do the mid, and then you have the high frequency, which is a horn. Now there's other better ways to do this. Now you just don't need to have a passive system. Now I heard passive systems are overrated now. Not for me. I'm a passive guy. I'm always going to be a passive guy, and I'm going to stay as a passive guy because I like amps, crossovers, EQ, maximizers, all gates, limiters. I love all that stuff. So I'd rather go with a passive system. Now for the people nowadays, they like to go with an active system. Now active systems are much easier to control. Well, from my standpoint of view, it's kind of hard to control. But it is easy for the mobile DJs that's out there today. So, you have a powered subwoofer, all right? And then you have a powered top. The first thing that you're going to do is take one XLR cable from your mixer source and go straight into the powered subwoofer, right? So, you'll just take the left and the right XLR and then plug it right into the subwoofer. And now you need 2 more XLR cables to plug the high pass filter out of the subwoofer and into your top cabs. Now here's how it'll get a little bit more because you cannot really change how the crossover is. It's mostly factory preset for that particular top cab. Now, EV does that, digital signal processing, DSP is what they call it, into their powered speakers. The ELX, not the LiveX doesn't have it. The ZLX, the EKX, and the ETX have its own display that actually, if you go into the menu, you can actually divide the frequencies and the crossovers. So it'll go from 80 hertz to 100 hertz to 180 hertz will go straight into the cab. And the subwoofer will have its own designated digital signal processing that you can actually tune up that powered sub to work with your top cab. Simple, right? My recommendation is to, if you're going to go through a passive system, which what I like to do, electronic crossover is a little bit better. I mean, you can use electronic crossovers if some power speakers don't have DSP, but I prefer a passive system. Here's why. You can actually tune up the active crossover to your liking. With a powered subwoofer, which is pretty nice to be honest, it's already preset into the cab itself. Which, don't get me wrong, that's a brilliant idea. You don't have to worry about having active crossover and then tweaking it up to make it sound good. That's fine with me. But if you're one of those guys that wants to keep it, a little bit more stable, go for an active crossover or active powered speakers. But if you're like me that wants to control the frequencies the way that I feel that it should be controlled, go for a passive system. Simple as that, you guys. Now, I know I'm going to have a lot of haters in the comment section going, "Oh, Kevin, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about." Trust me, I've been in this business as much as I know, all right? I've been DJing since late 1998. And I was a young kid back then, but I DJ'd with my cousin. He got me into the business. So, back then, just had passive speakers. Nowadays, freaking easy. Active speakers. So technically this channel is all about speaker related videos and what to look forward into speaker cabs, or what speaker cabs is good for you, or by and by, just overall, just sound equipment. So it's your decision: a two-way cab or a three-way cab. If you go with a three-way cab, you definitely don't need a subwoofer. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So if you have a three-way speaker system, speaker cabinet, you don't need a sub. With a two-way cab, you do need a sub because you want that speaker, that top cap, to work efficiently. And that's where the crossover comes in. So, I mean, it's personal preference, to be honest. Two-way or three-way systems is, to my extent, having a two-way or three-way system is, it's awesome. I mean, great technology is going into these speaker cabinets by EV or JBL or all these other brands. But what do you prefer? That's what it is. It's all about preference and what you like in a speaker cab. A two-way system, which is a woofer and a horn, or a three-way system with a woofer for the bass, another woofer for the mid, and then the horn for the high frequency. Which one do I prefer? The three-way system. Why? Because I built one this afternoon. So, it's all about personal preference, to be honest, but it's all about the taste. It's all about how you want it. Another thing that I want to talk about is I don't have that much to talk about. That's the only thing that I want to talk about in this video. But yeah, I'll show you the speaker cab that me and my friend built. And I know it's gonna look a little bit. It looks a little lopsided because that's our first cabinet that we built, and I'm not taking that out to gigs. That's just a cab that I have extra speakers around, and just build a box and build a crossover and by and by. But yeah, I mean, just give me your input in the comment section below. Please do not hate me because I'm a passive guy and I want to go to a passive. I'm still sticking with a passive system. My Mackeys sounds fantastic for a passive system. EAW, Eastern Acoustic Works, excellent. I'm not saying any other company or any other brand sounds like shit. I never heard of Seismic Audio before, but I'm not thinking about hearing that company. So big shout out to Doyle Audio Engineering, a big guy that's out there doing his thing, building speaker cabs for the pro market out there in Canada. So big shout out to you. I want to talk to you very, very soon about, because I have my own company too. It's called MI Audio Speakers. Mega Intense Audio Speakers. That's what it's called. Me and my friend started this a year ago, and now we're just building speaker cabs now. So if anybody needs some good quality audio speaker cabinets, just hook me up. Go on our Facebook page or go on our website, and you can see all the speaker cabs that we built throughout the years. But yeah, I mean, which one do you prefer? A two-way system, a two-way cabinet, or a three-way cab? Put your comments in the section below and tell me what you guys prefer. Like I said, I prefer three-way, but it's kind of tough to get your hands on a three-way cab because they're so expensive. Not anymore because I built one. So, so put your comment section below on what you like, and if I miss out on something, I'm sorry. Put them in the comment section below too. Big shout out to DJ Aaron doing this thing over there at DJ Aaron Radio Live over there in iVlog. I think it's iVlog. My company, MI Audio Speakers, Mega Intense Audio Speakers. We're sponsoring him. So any of you guys want to check out his live stream? It's a radio show. So check out his live stream. He does play good music, and he does work for the company. He's the manager for our Twitter account. But yeah, big shout out to you. Big shout out to all my subscribers out there. I thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for just subscribing and loving what I do. And no worries, we're gonna do a lot of speaker videos and stuff like that. And that's what because I'm a big speaker fanatic. I love making speaker videos for you guys. So, and I see more views on the speaker related videos than I do on my other videos. So more speaker videos will be coming up very soon, and more DJ videos will be coming up very. I'm gonna make a review on my Pioneer DDJ SB2. That controller, it's pretty good. Trust me. If you guys like to go into the Serato route, the Pioneer DDJ SB2 is the way to go. I know Aaron got the Newmark IDJ3. That was a good controller back in the day, but right now he could work up his little investment and buy the Pioneer. The Pioneer DDJ SB2 will be my next review. Alright, so that's it. Two-way or three-way cab. Which one do you prefer? Put it in the comments section below. And if I miss anything, like I said, put it in the comments section below. Alright? So, big shout out to all my subscribers. Practice and enjoy.